me your click button. Go. Good morning. Good morning. It's Monday, July 12th, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan. We're here to practice Wudang Taiji. My car is still in the garage, which is my other studio. Fingers crossed I'm going to be able to get something done about that this week. Fingers crossed. Meantime, we're here, and I'm going to pay attention to, we're going to go work through the form, right? And I'm going to continue on. We're doing this. But one of the things that I'm going to pay attention to, especially today, is this idea of controlling your space. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in today's lesson and why it's important not only for adjusting to the room, but for anything that you might be thinking about doing with any of these arts. Sip of coffee, we'll get warmed up, and I'm going to turn off the nice music. It's nice to have something create a little ambiance in the room before I get started, and there are times when it's distracting. Right? Now then, having said that, if we were in person in a group, having some music for us to practice with would be a very good thing, because it gives us the timing and the pace for the movement without having to be distracted by looking at me or me saying something, whatever. Okay, so we're going to start with our basic stretch. Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight, pull up through the crown of the head, open the arms, relax the back, drop the tailbone, pull up through the crown of the head, hands circle, and come around to the front, back around to both sides, pull up along the center line. Bend your knees. I did some yard work yesterday. It was fun. I had a good time. Looks nice. My legs are stiff. And so is my back. I did a lot of bending and stretching yesterday, so I need to do a little bit more today. All right? Roll up. And elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Yeah, that was one of the shrubs out front that caught me. Another stretch for the legs. Okay. I have my left foot back, right foot front, right foot on the heel. So toes up. Back leg is bent, knees bent. 90% of my weight is back here. I've got weight on the front, and I can have a little bit more on the front, but not too much, because I'm going to do that same stretch, and I'm going all the way over. Hand circle, up along center line, reach out over the leg, pull up, flex the foot, come up along center, one more time, and then we're going to change legs. You should feel this along the back of the leg. You should really feel it along the back of the leg. And elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. And change feet. Do the other leg. And hand circle to the front. Back around to both sides. Up along center line 2 times. Keep your weight centered over your right leg. That's the one that you're on. Stay over the heel. Keep the knee bent. Reach out. Flex the foot. And roll up. All the way up. The elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips. Hands return to your sides. Release the weight and release the foot. All right, now. Sip of coffee. It's Monday. It's Monday. All right. Review, real quick. And yeah, I brought the chair back thinking that I was going to have the car taken care of, and I didn't. And I mentioned this idea of using the space that you have. All right. So I left it here, or put it back, whichever way you want to think about it, to constrain my space. In Wudang Taiji, for a review, the beginning segment of the form doesn't move very far. We don't travel. We do a lot of moving, but it's fundamentally in one place. Right? Think about the space that I'm using. Just watch. Think about the space that I'm using. Where I am within the space that I have, and where the form travels as I go through this entire segment. Now I get to travel a little bit. Alright? So within this small space, I just did the first third-ish of Wudang Taiji. First part, first third of the first part, right? We have cloud hands. So here, right? Single cloud hands Other side. Alright? And then we keep going. We're still going in this direction. Okay? So, as I'm moving, right? We're going to go through the first part before we start traveling. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we can do with that space, right? And as I just showed, how do I practice? I've been practicing for 40 plus years, right? How do I practice when I don't have enough space? I can't go outside. There's no opportunity. I'm in a small room somewhere. Been there. I've traveled, and there's times when it was colder than I wanted it to be to go outside. There's times when there wasn't enough space in the interior room. There was no place I could go find to practice inside that was big enough for me to do everything that I wanted to do. So what do? Adjust what I'm doing. Pay attention to each of the movements as I'm working through them so that I know where the connections are. And then I'm able to take it apart and say, okay, I know that at this point I need to do what movement and keep going this way. So if I move to here, I need to be able to keep that, move it over, and continue on with the form. It shouldn't be, I can't practice because I don't, whatever it is, okay? You find a way. If you want to practice, you find a way. It's not going to be this forever. I'm going to get my car fixed. I'm going to be out in the other studio. There's going to be some stuff that I've already done outside, and there's other things that I will do outside as exhibition. While we're here, training and how to manage practice is a whole lot more important to what I'm trying to communicate. All right, and that is enough of me. Sip of coffee, first part of Wudang Taiji. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Bend the knees just a little bit. Toes grip the ground. Open the shoulders. Wiggle the fingers. Stretch the fingertips down at your sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Bend the knees just a little bit. Tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. Toes grip just a little bit. Pull up through the Yongchuan. Sink into the root, into the heel. Jiao dun. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Salute. Breathe out. Relax. Open the back and sink. Gonna go slow right now. Push out through the heel. Turn the foot. Pull in on the toes. Push out through the heel. Turn the foot. Turn. And yes, the foot does turn a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. Center. Press up. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the foot. 5. Hands turn over, pull down. Shift back. Press. Push. Pull down. Shift back. Push. Shift back. 1, 2, 3. Palms turn over. Press out. Turn to the front. 1, 2, 3. Circle. Double punch. Shift. Right foot. Step under. Handstrum the loop. Right hand circles. Left hand circles. Right elbow. Pull the foot back. Heel. Toe. Ward off. Pull down. Shift back. Push. Pull down. Press. And push. Turn. 1. Relax. Alright. As we turn, pay attention. I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to start a little bit further over so that I have enough room to actually do that turn. Okay. As we turn, my weight's on my left, my right foot set. Okay? Set the foot. Weight goes onto the left. One, 2, 3. This happens quickly. This turn. I slowed it way down. It happens through the move. Turn the ball. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm here. 1, 2, 3. Waist moves, shoulders move, legs move, hips move, everything moves. Looks more complicated. That's fine. Everything's moving all together to execute this move. It's not something that should be, as with everything else, it's not something that's affected. It's not this. It's not this. I don't know what that is, but it's not. Everything's going. Pay attention to that as we move through. Cat, you need to reload. You can be on the chair if you want. Come on. Thank you. Bye-bye. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Relax, breathe. Salute. Shift the weight right. Open left. Center. Pull in. Extend. And turn. Right side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down. Timing. Shift. And again. Palms turn over. Center. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Center. Bring the foot down under you. Hand strum the loop. Shift forward. Elbow. Pull your foot back. Shift. 1, 2, 3, Alright. Couple of things that I have to do in the space that I have. I call them out in this set. One of them is when I put my foot down. Dragon and tiger join together. Hands strum the lute. Right? Right here, dragon and tiger join together. This foot goes out. It's going to go up further when I do it faster. Alright, but see, I'm working on holding it when I'm slower. Right? Get a little bounce in the leg, right? Alright. As this goes out, go with it. Step through. Or this way. Okay? Go with it. If I want to be in the frame, in this video, in this room, if I do that, I need to go through the wall. Not happening. Control the space. I have been on stage where I had about this much room. It just, or I could fall off, but I didn't want to fall off, so hey, I'm going to stay on the place that I almost down the platform. Alright, so how do you control that? Where is your step? You have to know where your step is, and then what do I do about that? I talked about the idea that we don't move all that much at the very beginning. This is our range pretty much right here. I don't go over here that much, and I don't go over here that much. In Wudang Taiji, we don't start out traveling. But then we get to go. So, in a smaller space, I can use a smaller step. What I talked about here with the wall, if I stand here, I have enough room to extend my leg. If I step here, I no longer have enough room to extend my leg. That's why you see me doing this low kick. Alright? It goes all the way out, but I have to hit the wall. And I'm not doing that. Okay? These small changes, right? We know what it should be. Important to know what it should be. And then we have to look at how can I adapt this to the space that I'm in. Alright? Now, why does it matter? We don't, okay, I'm practicing, who cares, right? I'm practicing. I'm in this space and I'm practicing. What if I'm not in this space? What if I'm in a space where I need to use what I'm practicing to defend myself? I'm going to tell my opponent to stand up here real close so I can do what I need to do. No, it's not going to happen. So my space is a combination of my range of movement, what I can do in my three-dimensional space around my body, It can stop at the skin. It can stop just a little bit outside the skin, preferably, but yeah, it right here. What can I do to control my space? And how do I need to move? What might I do if someone else has decided that they want to come into my space? I might just move out of the way. You know, you want to go ahead. Have a good time. Bye. It's an option. It's my space. I can change where I am. If I have the space between me and the chair over here, this much space, I'm gonna walk it. 1, 2, 3. I have this much space between me and the chair. Neither my legs nor my arms are long enough to stretch across that space. It ain't happening. Do I need to do anything? Yeah. No. My opponent might decide to do something, but my opponent's over there. I'm over here. Go ahead. I may not be here when you get here, but go ahead. There's that opportunity. Just move out of the way. All right? What space am I in? What is my chair doing? What do I need to do to avoid whatever my opponent is doing? Because that's my first idea, is that, yeah, whatever it is, I don't want it. Right? You would like my opponent would like to punch me. No, I don't want you to punch me. My opponent would like to kick me. No, I don't want you to kick me. Yeah, pretty straightforward. My opponent would like to grab me. No, I don't want you to do that either. Okay? So my opponent has to close the space between them and me, him, her, whoever, right? Has to close the space, because even a really tall person is still going to have to close a little space. Yeah, I'm thinking like 7'2". Yeah, that tall. That really tall person still going to have to close a little bit of space before they can reach me. A little bit. I'm going to have to close a lot more to get to them. Now, suppose I'm here. Right, the opponent is still the chair. Right, the chair's not getting up to do anything, so I don't have to worry about it. But at this point, I can reach out and touch my opponent. My hand can reach out and touch my opponent. My foot can reach out and touch my opponent. My foot could be here. My foot could be here. There's a couple places I could put my foot. Part of that would depend on whatever my opponent is doing. My point is that at this distance, my use of space is going to be different. What I'm going to consider possible is different. My opponent can easily reach out and touch me. My opponent could kick me. My opponent could punch me. My opponent doesn't have to be exceptional to be able to do that. The 7'2" person, that's an exceptional person. Okay? My opponent could be average, and at this distance, wouldn't matter. Okay? Okay, that 7'2" person, I might want to be a little bit closer because that would create some difficulty for them. But average person, if I'm here, that's my distance. What can I do in this space? How do I manage my space? That's my point. Practice again. Pay attention to where you put your foot. Okay, so there's two things that I called out. I talked about this. I'm here, tiger and dragon joined together, step through. Put your foot down under. As we step through, we're going to transfer forward, turn, come back, and then I have to step up again. Alright? So I'm going this way. I don't have room to go this way. So one of the things that I've done is to pull my foot back as I step up. Let me show you. Dragon and tiger. So I want to put this foot down under me. Pull it back. That way, instead of going forward, which is what I should do, in this space, I need to control that forward. So I stay in the same place. Shift forward, turn, turn, turn the heel. As I come around here, my weight's on my right, I'm going to pull my left foot back to give myself that space again so that I have enough room to do the move. Whatever level it is, whether it's a low kick, whether it's a straight out 90 degrees, whether it's 25 degrees, doesn't matter. What matters is this extension and keeping the form continuous. Okay? As much as possible. Okay. We're going to have to stop and back up in a minute. We want to keep those stop and back up. As we're practicing continuous form, we don't want to stop too many times, like I'm doing this morning. I'm doing it. As I'm doing this morning, we don't want to stop too many times and break up the form into little pieces. We do that to work on individual moves. I do that to introduce individual moves. Form practice should be continuous. If you're having trouble with a particular move, pull it out of the form, practice it individually, and then put it back in the form so that you have two separate types of practice. This practice is that continuous, I'm paying attention to how the form works, how everything is connected, and how all the movements work together. What comes before, what comes during, and what comes after. All of it. With each individual movement, we're paying attention to what are the particulars for this one move. Dragon and tiger, which I've been paying attention to this morning. We have this in our Wudang Qigong as well. Right? I've just, twin dragons come out of the cave. Right? I just did 3 rings around the moon. Twin dragons come out of the cave. Pull in. And I'm going slow. With the heel. Put it down. And step through. So dragon and tiger join together, hands strum the lute. What if I'm having trouble? I've had. Right? So I'm here, and every time I shift over to this side, I wobble. It's not happening. Something's going on. I'm always off balance. I can kind of get there, but it never feels solid. It always feels like there's something not quite right. Take it out of the form. Repeat the practice. Look at my knee. Look at my ankle. I've shifted way over to this side. I did that deliberately. Now, I can compensate, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel solid. It doesn't feel anything like what it feels like when my foot is fully connected and planted. And I'm going to tell you, if this foot's fully connected and planted, this one's going to be too. All right, that's a point. As I go through the form, I might miss that. I might be thinking about opening this up and really extending and stepping through, and I miss that little wobble. And then I go back and I notice it. But, gee, go back and fix it. Take that piece out and fix it. Put it back in, start over. The way to develop control of your form is to be able to work it both ways. I can work individual movements to refine them. I can work the whole form continuously. And I can manage that in the space that I have. Let's do it again. And then we're gonna back up and I'm gonna add some. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Relax. Breathe. Breathe in, salute. Breathe out. Breathe in. Sink. Extend. And turn. Left. Right. Center. Up along center line. Turn the waist. Turn the waist more. And down. Shift. Push. Pull down. Turn. Push. Shift back. 1, 2, 3. Down. Up on the other side. And turn 1, 2, 3. Circle. Double punch. Shift. Step through, step under. Turn. 1, 2, 3. Pull the foot back. Hold the ball. 1, 2. Ward off, pull down. Ward off. Pull down. Press. Push. Shift. 1. And on. Alright. Relax for a minute. You will notice that I am moving my feet, with the exception of the 2 moves that I just described, where I am intentionally doing something different. Something different. Everything else is as it should be. Alright. We have just gotten here. I'm going to add some more. Come on. We're here. We're here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold ball on the other side. Left foot. Ward off, pull down. Whole thing on the other side. And we come out of it the same way. Alright? Another little trick. Single whip. Alright, I'm gonna hold off on single whip for today, as I beat up on space and everything for today. This second piece, alright, we're here. One, two, three. Shift onto the right, left, left, go to the left. Keep going. 1, 2, G, and turn again. 1, 3, 1, 2, right? I've left the frame. So, as we get to this point, I'm going to back up. Start over. And turn 1, 2, 3. Shift right, kick left. 1, 2. Left hand, ward off. Right hand pull down. Ward off. Press. Push. Turn. As we turn, don't get fancy. This is not fancy hands. This is turn. Twist a little bit while you're going, but turn. All right. From the left side, hold while right. 1, 2. I'm going to turn around and go the same direction. Right? Right side. I'm going this way, and I turn around to face the opposite direction. Right? Yeah. Too much analysis, more practice. From strong one show, double cloud hands. Just before. No. So I'm here. Shift to the right, right hand up, left hand comes under, left hand up, right hand up, shift onto the right, bring the left up, 1, 2, left hand ward up, right hand pull down, shift back, push, pull down, press, push, turn, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and single cloud hands again, 1, 2, 3. In Wudang style Tai Chi, we want a little bit of this spiral in single cloud hands. We also want more of an oval than the big circle. Okay? So, Wudang style Tai Chi is here. I want this circle, and I'm going to twist as I come through it. Yang style Tai Chi uses a different circle. I've got this space and this space in a big circle, compared to Wudang style Tai Chi. I have this space and a much narrower frame, my own arms, right? I'm not here, I'm here. Wherever this arm is, that's it. If this is longer, this can be a little bit longer. That's it. It doesn't extend here. Not for this move. 1, 2, 3. Close to the body. Now we can extend it. Alright? It stays close. So, very key difference in the way that these two systems control the space through single hand cloud hands. Yang style Tai Chi doesn't have the double cloud hands. Doesn't have the shuang wan shou. It is single cloud hands only. So a little bit different there. A little bit different in the way that we use the space within the move itself, and a bit of difference in how we get to and from cloud hands. All right. Right foot back, left foot front, right hand under. Shift, turn. No, excuse me. Sorry. We're still here. Left foot front. Shift to the right. Shift back. Right hand up. Turn. 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 Shift onto the right. Left. Kick 1. Toes 2. Ward off, pull down. Shift. Tang. Lu. Ji. And. Turn foot. 1. And 2, 3. 4. 1. 2. 3. Shift onto the right. Drop the right elbow, put the left hand under the elbow. Alright? So, as we shift back, 1, 2, 3, just right here. We're not working on that today. So, there's that. One more time. Right foot back, left foot front. Single cloud hands. 1, 2, 3. Shift right. Kick left. 1, 2. Extend. Lu, Ji, and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and set. The more control you have over each movement, okay, the more that you understand about the physical movement, how the body works to get you there, and what your individual range may be, right? How long is your arm, really? I used to think my arm was about twice as long as it is. It's really long. I can reach all the way down again. It ain't happening. Understanding that makes a difference in how we practice and in how we think about moving through space, how we think about what might happen, what might be possible if I have an opponent Somebody has to close, if my chair is my opponent, somebody has to close this space before either of us can come in contact with each other. At this place, this distance, I need to be more conscious of what my opponent might be wanting to do. Because there's a greater chance that my opponent would be able to reach me. So, what are my options from here? What are my options from here? And how does that relate to what we're doing in the form, right? So, my opponent's over there. I'm not going to do anything. You're not going to touch me. I'm fine. Now, if my opponent comes at me, this is a non-friendly person coming at me, right? The first thing I'm going to do is move out of the way. The second thing I might need to do is close the space to be able to do something. Now, what something might I be able to do? Depends on the opponent. Depends on my circumstance. Depends on, so many different things. Alright? Knowing how I move through space, what do I need to do? What kind of a step do I need to close this? That step. I can close that distance. Right? Yeah, no. It's not happening. Right? What do I need to close the distance? What do I need to maintain the distance? What do I have to do to maintain that distance? I've used that every time I go out anywhere since COVID. What do I need to do to maintain that distance? Keep your distance. If it's a situation that I do not want to encounter this opponent, moving out of the way, keeping my distance, making sure that the opponent cannot close that distance matters. If I can't move out of the way, if I can't discourage the opponent, what do? I need to understand my space, and I need to understand how to use it, how to control it. I'm hopeful that some of what I've gone off about today is useful and helpful. I know it was a hard lesson for me to learn. Some of it came through dance and being able to hold your place in line, because you don't get to move out of line. And some of it came through my own discipline in not falling off the stage. Right? I'll be back tomorrow. Most likely here we're going to talk a little bit more about the internal workings of what we just did and some of the applications. So as I'm talking about space, you'll understand a little bit more where I'm going with some of that idea. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Tomorrow.